Hello, I'm Scott Stevens, Goldsboro City Manager, here for our April monthly update. And again, these things seem to come faster and faster, and I guess that's a good sign. Spring is finally here, and I hope it's for good this time. We'll know, I guess, in a few weeks how April has turned out, but I, for one, enjoy the warm weather and being outside. And I would just encourage you, it's a great time to come visit our parks if you haven't been out in a while. Take a look. We're doing our part to make them as good as we can, but they all are enjoyable in their own right. Or maybe come out and play around the golf. If you haven't been out to the municipal golf course in a long time, I think you'll be very impressed with the condition of the course and the clubhouse that we moved into last spring, being the old Goldsboro Country Club. So again, I would encourage you to get out, enjoy the outside, spend time with family and friends before it becomes our 90-degree summers that tend to push us back indoors. I do want to mention Wings Over Wayne, a great community event, an outreach from our friends at Seymour Air Force Base. A lot of time and effort and energy is going into that event, from the base to the city and the county. Again, May 20th and 21st. I think it'll be a phenomenal opportunity to bring your friends, family, visitors to the community. So please make plans to attend. Those 2 days, that Saturday and Sunday, are the same schedule throughout both days. Start somewhere around 10 in the morning, finishing sometime mid to late afternoon. But certainly worth your time and effort, and if you haven't been before, and even if you have, it really is a great show. So I would encourage you to be part of that Wings Over Wayne event, May 20th and 21st, right here in Goldsboro on Seymour Air Force Base. We continue to have a lot of private investment in downtown and throughout Goldsboro. It's a really good sign from an economic standpoint of things that are going on within Goldsboro and Wayne County. And I guess I would just encourage each of you to visit one of our new businesses, whether it's in downtown or outside of downtown. We've got a couple that's behind me at Goldsboro Brew Works that opened in December. The owners of this business have told me just it's been very successful, beyond what they expected in their first 4 or 5 months of operation. So many of you are visiting these new businesses throughout town, but I would encourage you to do that just to see and support, in particular, our local business, but all of our new business owners that are in the community. We are sending out our third edition of the newsletter. It was going out in the April utility bill, so depending on your billing cycle within the community, you'll receive that newsletter sometime this month. Again, we're always open for suggestions or ways to improve it or other topics you'd like to see, but we do intend to do that on a quarterly basis going forward, and so we'll be assembling our next newsletter, which would cover, I guess, the July, August, September time frame. So again, more to come on that, but we certainly would appreciate your feedback. With the passage of the bond referendums last November, we're working very feverishly on a street resurfacing bid package. The bond money is available in late May, early June. Our street resurfacing package is going out to bid. We've identified the streets. It's about $2.8 million worth of street resurfacing. I hope to have that work under contract in June, and you'll start seeing that work throughout this summer. It doesn't resurface all the streets in Goldsboro, but it'll be a lot more streets done in one paving season than we've done in a very long time. So you ought to see that in most parts of the community. As well as the multi-sports complex, we had let a contract last fall to Seegers Fence Company to remove the perimeter fence around Seymour Johnson, so that this complex, although owned by the Air Force in terms of property, is outside of the security fencing. That fencing, they're making great strides in getting the new perimeter fence installed. We let a contract for ST Wooten for another $3 million to begin the grading work. They have moved on site this first week of April, and so that will start making a big impact on what's going on there. And then we've also got another $3 million coming from the bond that will be available in May to award the rest of the project. And at this point, I believe most of that will go to ST Wooten in terms of alternate bids that we had to finish the grading and site work out at the site. Officially to be open next April, maybe sooner than that, but officially to be open next spring, I say April, the spring of 2018. And so we're working well at meeting that goal. The city has discussed a summer jobs program. We initially talked about having our own program within Parks and Rec. After further research, we've recommended to City Council, and they've agreed to allow us to partner with the community college and the Goldsboro Housing Authority and do a program where all of us are putting money and resources and time and effort into a single program to help kids or youth be employed this summer. And again, initially it'll be at least 50 kids. We may expand that number depending on the response rate from the community. Pay somewhere $7.25 an hour and up depending on the job and the program, and you will either do manual labor or work in office setting depending on our partnerships. And those that are interested in being an employer and maybe having a kid that is paid for by somebody else to come work with you for a period of time, 6 to 8 weeks through the summer, please don't hesitate to call my office at 580-4330. There will be information available on our website very soon, meaning early April. But again, we are fine-tuning that program as we've just discussed with council at their first April meeting and finalized sort of the details on what the council expected or is willing to allow us to do. So more coming on that, but should be a good opportunity for many of the kids within the city of Goldsboro for summer job employment. Littering continues to be an issue throughout our community. Do want to ask that each of you do your part, whether residential or business. Had a gentleman speak at our council meeting, or at the council meeting this first week of April. He was saying that he got out every morning and picked up a 5-gallon bucket of trash. It's a shame he has to do that, but I really do want to applaud the gentleman and his efforts. I know there are many people that take pride in the community and are doing their part. We've all got to do our part. One, to reduce the amount of litter, to pick up the litter that's there, and then the city has hired 3 people that do nothing but litter pickup, and we're moving that throughout the community. Wherever there's a problem, wherever there are main corridors, it is making a difference, but the sad side is we pick it up today, a week later it's just as bad, and that is throughout Goldsboro. So it's not one part of the community that's bad, it is folks littering throughout the community. And so I would encourage each of you to do more of your part. We're trying to do more on the enforcement end and the cleanup end, but we're picking up 200 to 300 to 400 bags of trash every week off streets within our city. So something that I hope will reduce over time and keep all of Goldsboro looking better. We've had a number of discussions about a stormwater fee, at least on this, and we're getting ready to brief City Council. We did have a stakeholder group meeting for several months to discuss the issue. They have recommended to City Council we implement a $4.50 per month stormwater utility fee. For businesses, it would be more than that per month. It would be based, well, that or more. It would be based on your impervious area of about 3,000 square feet. So for every 3,000 square feet of imperviousness, you would pay that $4.50 a month. I think there will be credits where if you have existing stormwater structures or open ditches or ponds or things that really detain and treat the stormwater, you could reduce that fee somewhat. More information to come on that. It's all still subject to City Council approval, which I would expect them to do as part of the budget process, and if they did so, the fee would likely be implemented July 1st. And then the value of the fee in terms of you as a community member is it would give us money, somewhere in $1.5 million to $2 million a year, to put towards fixing stormwater problems. Right now, when something falls in, we try to fix this problem at that site, but we're not really evaluating the system, we're not doing significant ditching, we're not doing the work that really ought to be done because there's not money to do that. This fund would create a fund that doesn't have to compete with anything else within the city for stormwater related work. It is things that most communities around us that are our size or anywhere near our size or larger have already implemented, and so we are really just catching up. Many entities in the community do not pay property taxes, which funds the primary or is our primary funding source. Most entities within the community would pay the stormwater fee, meaning churches would pay it, not-for-profits would pay it, other governmental institutions as well as the city would pay it. Where we're not paying taxes, we would pay the stormwater fee. So again, it would spread the load to where your runoff, you're paying proportionate to the runoff you generate from your site. Street lighting, we have mentioned this a couple of times, but the city did work with Duke Energy and provided $125,000 to accelerate the replacement of our street lights with LED street lights. I know that is occurring throughout the community. At the end of the spring, it will be done throughout all of Goldsboro. I hope they're an improvement for you. I know that they are brighter lights. I know for me, they are longer lasting, less maintenance, meaning they'll be on more often than not, where bulbs will burn out in a shorter period of time. The LED lights have a much longer lifespan, and again, that work is underway, and we believe it'll be an improvement to the community, and so I hope you'll see those within your neighborhood as well. Hurricane Matthew, still a significant impact in the community, still a lot of people or families in limbo. Long-term replacement housing, whether it's a buyout program, whether it's elevating your home or fixing your home, is probably still years away for many, so please keep those people in your thoughts and prayers and give where you can in terms of helping with funding, whether it's through your churches or through United Way. And there is some discussion of long-term funding expected, and we're talking about some resiliency plans for the city and the county and other communities throughout eastern North Carolina that were impacted. Those projects, that funding I think will help a lot, but it will still take a very long time for that to get here. And whether it's cleaning out streams or helping with build facilities or goes towards housing, all are good things. It's just years away before those things will be finalized. So more to come on that, and we'll give you updates as we move along through that process. It is city budget time for us. The departments have submitted their budget to our finance department. Finance is assembling the budget so we know where we're starting in terms of total requests, doing revenue projections, and again we expect to present it to City Council in May for the City Council to discuss and then consider adopting in June. Our fiscal year begins July 1st, so we do need to get the budget adopted before the end of June, and so we'll be working towards that date with the hope of having a new budget in place in the coming months. The street going into Elmwood Cemetery was named for PFC Dan Bough. He was a young Marine killed in action as part of the Vietnam War, and he was 15, so he was the youngest Marine that killed during that conflict, and somebody that has been honored in the past but not in this way, and we had a group make the request to us. City Council did approve that action, so we're moving through that, and we'll have some more information coming on that in the future, but again, a recognition well deserved. Our May 1st, normally the council meets the first and third Mondays. There was a conflict with the May 1st meeting with a council member, so the council did move that May 1st meeting to May 8th. So if you intend to come to a city council meeting in May and you're thinking we're the first Monday, that is normally correct, but in May we're meeting the second Monday and the third Monday. And so May 8th and May 15th are our official council meeting dates at this time. We'll likely have a budget meeting that'll be another date, but we'll make you aware of that as we go forward. It's a time of year where mosquitoes are coming back out. We had a lot of discussions about mosquitoes and Zika virus last year, and more cases of that moving throughout the country. I will tell you a big part of mosquito prevention is standing water. Mosquitoes travel a very short distance, or at least most, from their source of water or their home. I think the number is 300 to 500 feet. So in many cases, we have mosquitoes in our yards because we have standing water somewhere close by. It's not always a pond. More likely it's saucer pans, buckets, gutters, areas that hold water over a period of time so that they can reproduce in that water. So do your part and look into any area you are to dump water. It doesn't take a whole lot of water to breed a lot of mosquitoes, and again, they don't travel on a very far distance, so if you have a little bit of water in your yard, you can generate a lot of mosquitoes for your neighborhood. So all of us need to do our part. We're trying to do better on the education piece. I know spraying is one method that people really like to see. Spraying is considered the least effective and not totally effective in and of itself. There are other ways to fight the larvae, to bring in birds or dragonflies or other things that will naturally fight mosquitoes or eat mosquitoes. So again, the standing water is where most of us can have our biggest impact to make it better. As always, there seem to be a lot of activities in the community. Spring, they sort of ramp up a bit, from road runs that I know are coming to festivals in our downtown, the activities within our park. The list really goes on and on and on and changes on a very regular basis. I would encourage you to come to our website, visit Facebook, the city, downtown, Parks and Rec. You can find a lot of resources there to help you tell you what's going on within the community. And again, if you have questions or not sure where to go, you can call my office at 580-4330. Again, 580-4330. And we'll be happy to get the information to you, whether that's to a phone call or to a website or just telling you what we know is going on based on what you're looking for. A lot of camps for our kids this summer, so I would encourage you, if you're interested in camps, that is available on our Parks and Recs website, or you can call the same number I've just given you in terms of information through the manager's office. But a lot of activities for kids in camps, whether it's just a day camp on a weekly basis or a specialized camp, basketball, tennis, soccer, golf, any of those kinds of things. Our Parks and Rec staff has done a great job of assembling a good schedule for this summer season. So take a look. There's a lot for kids to do, particularly up to age 13 as part of our camps, and then hopefully job-wise, our summer youth job program for other kids looking for employment this summer. Again, if I can be of service, don't hesitate to call 580-4330, and thank you. We'll see you next month.